Looks like our trajectory was a little off. Not so fast, horseman. Let's lay down a few ground rules. Until this is over, you're a dog on a leash. I say bark, you bark. And if I have to kick you, you'd better not bare your teeth. Understand? Or should I teach you to play dead? Good boy.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Darksiders with me, the Doctor. We're here in the Seraphim Hotel, and our goal, if you remember from last episode, is to find the demon Vulgrim. He's long sought an audience with the Charred Council, and he will have information that we can use in our quest to, to clear our name. This part of the game still serves as somewhat of a tutorial. You notice now, for example, we have ledges that you can grab and slide along like this, for example.
Here comes the welcome party. War, why don't you introduce yourself?
So, say hello to the weakest enemy in the game. These are zombies. These are what remains of humans after the apocalypse. As you can see, you can break through them relatively easily, and do you remember last episode we saw that you can use B to use a kind of finishing move on them? Zombies are so weak you can use a finisher on them from the start. You just grab them, and you burst them. This is important because when we kill them, as we saw last episode, killing enemies gives you souls. And we get blue souls, which are used as currency, which are down in the bottom left. If you kill these things with a melee attack... Oh dear, no. Get away from me. Ah, why have I picked up a... Get the fuck off this. Okay. If you kill them... Wow, I'm really using this traffic sign to very good effect. If you kill them with B, they yield mostly green souls. Green souls heal you rather than being currency. So if you're low on health, squeeze a couple of these guys and you'll be right as rain. This is what I was saying last episode when I meant... No, this is what I meant last episode when I was saying that different kinds of ways of fighting enemies yield different kind of souls. Wow, we got all sorts of souls there. And that was a fire golem, which we'll get a bit more used to later. We can jump across this pipe. And I'm curious at this point. Gauntlet glow. War's gauntlet glows near interactive objects such as chests and doors. Press B to activate them. A couple more zombies to kill. I am curious if anyone yet recognizes the Watcher's voice actor. There's a number of relatively well-known voice actors in this game, but he's arguably the most well-known. If you don't already know who it is, but you think you figured it out, drop a comment. I'm curious to see how many people can figure it out. It's worth noting I didn't, and I know that voice actors work from a lot of stuff. But I just never put two and two together until pretty recently. Ah, here's a fire golem. So, they do a lot of kind of like attacks where they kind of jump towards you, and they can also do some like fiery bursty things. Like I was saying last episode, make sure you stay on your feet and use your dash attack where you can. We also have our wrath attack, which is a great chance to use it here. If I hold LB and press X, blades shoot out from all around us, and that will kill any zombie in one, and also dealt a good amount of damage to the fire golem. We should be weaning his health down now, just gotta make sure to not get too close to him. When he's done... I said when he's done... Oh, he's not actually dead yet. Oh dear. There we go. When you've dealt enough damage to him, he bursts like the one we saw, and he unleashes a fair amount of souls of all colours. You also notice over here... Let's kill these guys and get them out of the way. There is a green chest. So a green chest, when you open it, will always contain... Oh dear, a lot of bastards here. Green souls. So once you've opened the chest, they're gone for good. So it's basically a green chest is a... Oh, bloody hell, there's zombies everywhere. A green chest is always just a one-off healing. So if you see a scary-looking enemy in a green chest, you either use the green chest during the scary enemy fight to last longer, or you use it at the end to heal up, which is what I kind of tend to do. You'll also notice destroying environmental objects also yields a couple of souls. Most environmental objects make a relatively half-decent weapon as well. Not sure what relatively half-decent is exactly meant to mean, but there we go. Remember, I mentioned last episode about the kind of combo meter we got there. The more higher your combo meter when you kill enemies, the more souls they yield. Dragging objects. Walk and drag certain freestanding objects around within the environment. Press and hold B to shift objects. And indeed, if you hold B, you can then move this around pretty freely. Let's push it up against the wall. And this is the kind of exploration stuff that you can see is quite... This kind of exploration and free roaming is a bit Zelda in its own ways, but it's quite different as well. The kind of almost... This level of, like, parkour-y free-running side of it reminds me more of Prince of Persia is the one it kind of comes to, but all those kind of games are clear kind of inspirations for this. It came at a time when... It came out about the same time as Dark Souls, which has a very similar sounding name as again, when basically people identified there was apparently a gap in the market for dark Zelda games, or like Zelda, but for adults. And they all kind of tried to fill that gap, because that's basically when Wind Waker came out, so it was all cartoony, and they said, ha, Nintendo is for children, play the exact same game, but for adults. And I don't quite agree with that assessment of it, but Darksiders is a pretty damn good game. At least I think so. If I didn't, I wouldn't be doing it on my channel, because I don't really... Well, no, and that's not true, actually. I do games which I... Oh, bloody hell. I do games which I don't think are good. But I always do games that I enjoy. And if I enjoy it, there's always at least some reason why. Oh, let's table some of these guys up. Yeah, you'll notice, also, compared to a Zelda game, there is a lot more combat. As time goes on, you will kind of see more and more of the kind of Zelda stuff in common. At the moment, we are still very much in the tutorial phase of the game. Ah, something's happening. Ah! Time for a new enemy. This is a blue dragon, and they have a couple of attacks that are like splash damage and things like that. You have to be, pretty careful fighting these guys. They can deal a lot of damage to you and the surrounding areas. Come on, we can move, there we go. It's all about, much like with the fire golems, beating to the right time, dodging their attack, and getting in close to them. Oh, bugger. The game will tell me this eventually, but if you hold RB, that brings a block up. Some attacks can be blocked against, but ones, for example, like, which is probably why it's not told me at the moment, the blue dragon's attacks generally can't be blocked because they're very strong attacks like that. Alright, we've lost one of our life stones, so we're down a little bit in health, which isn't great, but we've nearly got this guy damaged enough. Oh dear, I should have gone to the side, not back. Oh, there we go. That one we've got to dodge to the side. Here we go, and now we can use a finisher on him. And that should release enough souls to hopefully heal us up a fair bit. A little bit. I do really like the finisher you do in Blue Dragons, where you like stab their hand into the ground and then just like beat them up like barroom brawl style. It looks fantastic. You can tell you're still in tutorial mode because the game very much blocks off areas from you. Like as soon as you get through an area, there'll always happen to be a rock slide behind you, or what the door you just came through explodes or some shit like that to make sure you don't backtrack. So it is a little hand-holdy in the early stages, I will accept. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. You can see there quite clearly the gauntlet glow that my gauntlet's... The skull on my gauntlet is going blue. It's a very, very skull-heavy game, this one. I mean, you can see why. Ah, brilliant, a green chest. Let's heal up a little. And with that, we can head out into the crossroads.
How long was I gone?
In Earth years, about a century. Long enough for the last of the mouth-breathers to die off.
Then, the Third Kingdom is lost.
Subtle. I almost didn't hear you coming.
Vulgrim.
The Council finally took me seriously. If so, you're surely not empty-handed, for this shall be the briefest of introductions. there were a few young ones. Spectacular. You seek the power behind the one called Destroyer. You will find the answers and the font of his power there. Oh, such haste to die. You aren't even a shadow of your former self. You wouldn't last a heartbeat. Besides, the way to the tower is shrouded by demon magics. Even I do not know the way.
Who does?
Feed my hunger, and I'll feed your curiosity.
Wow, a lot of things happened there. Firstly, we've been gone for a century. The apocalypse has happened, and humans are gone, by the sounds of it. We've been given a Horde Seeker, a demon trinket that reveals the location of all nearby chests on the map. This is just a temporary thing, so it's not on the visualizer. It's the equivalent of the compass in the Zelda game, it basically shows that. Though, I would like to, at this point, bring up the visualizer, because one thing that's on the visualizer is Vulgrim. There are 10 different Vulgrim locations around the entire game, and there is a point, each one is... There's a reason why there's a number of them. I'll get onto that more in the later. But they are an element on the game, and I'm going to cross them off one by one as we get them. This is the one at the crossroads. So, we've got a task. We know now that the Destroyer is based... Where the fuck is it? That must be behind there. There we go, in the Black Throne up there. But it's protected, and we don't know how to get there. But Vulgrim does, and we need to gather 500 souls for him. We've got 231, which is pretty good, because he already took the 200 the council gave us. You can fuck off, crows. So, on top of that, we got 250 during the last bit. So around here, there's lots of opportunities for gathering souls and other things. You can see now on the map in the bottom right, there's a couple of chest icons marked on there. There's one near us, and there's one over to the right, grayed out. I'll explain what grayed out means a bit, but this one down here, we can see it, it's here. And this is a blue chest. A green chest contains green souls, and then a blue chest contains... blue souls! 100 of them, I think it actually was, which is pretty damn good. Now we've got a bit of a chance to explore a little bit. So, if we head... Nope, I'm pressing the wrong button. I'm pressing B to climb, which is the let go of things button. That was never going to go particularly well. If we head down here to the northwest... Oh, bloody crows. So crows will just kind of menace you from a distance slightly. As you can see, when killed, will drop green souls, which is quite nice if you just fancy a quick bit of healing. But most of it, like, in most of this game, it's kind of one of the things I was saying earlier, this game just has a lot more combat, just like out in the field, like this, than Zelda games tend to. But most of it, like a lot of it, for example, will be against these zombies, which are just very quick and easy to mop up. But they're a nice chance to get used to combat, kind of. This is less so easy to mop up. So, another blue dragon, but now we have environmental objects to fight it with, so let's chuck some cars at it from a distance, see what we can do. If nothing else, it gets us some souls. Oh dear, well that wasn't great. Let's use Blade Geezer on it. There we go. Oop, there we go. As I say, combat is all very... I say as I say a lot, don't I? Combat is all about being agile and mobile. Did we just kill him? Man, he didn't even let us do the finisher. What a boring bastard. Anyway, what I came for here is this kind of little subway point. If we come down here, there's a couple of treats here for us. You will notice on the map, there's a thing that kind of looks like a green cross. As I say, we temporarily... Stop saying as I say, Doctor. We have temporarily got the Horde Seeker. What I need to do here is climb onto the ceiling. Because demonic growth also goes onto the ceiling. And you get these bloody things come out of demonic growth. If you don't hit them in time, they will attack you. And if you get hit on demonic growth, you'll drop off it, and that's not good. Hop down here, and we'll grab a few more souls. Wonderful. Oh, we've got enough to feed Vulgrim, but there's still a lot more stuff to be gathered. So, when swimming, press B to go down. Y, oh, there we go. Press B to descend, Y to ascend, and RB to dash underwater.
We have enough souls to feed Vulgrim's hunger. Now, maybe he'll feed our curiosity.
You can breathe unlimitedly underwater because you're a horseman. They're a very unusual and unique race. This thing here. This is an artifact soldier. These ancient insignias were given to legions of hell as trophies for the carnage of the end days. Return it to Vulgrim and he will reward you. There's a lot of, as you can see from the visualizer, there are a lot of artifacts in the game. There's 3 types, as you can see by the kind of 3 areas on the visualizer. There's soldier, which there's about 20 of. Then there is champion, which there's 6 of, and overlord. There is only 1 overlord artifact in the entire game. Bring him back to Vulgrim and he will pay you for them. And they're a thing together, which is nice. Anyway, if we continue up here, do I need this? Yes I do. There's a green chest here, and I might as well open it up. With that, let's head back towards Vulgrim. So here, we're going to head to the east of Vulgrim. You'll notice that the map always marks north to some way, and when we head over towards this building... Introducing a new enemy that... Oh, it's telling me how to block. There we go. It was deliberately didn't tell me earlier. But these guys are quite a kind of sword-based enemy. These are demon soldiers, and indeed, if we hold RB, as you can see, we're blocking all incoming attacks. This is one way you can actually fight enemies. You can just hold RB and then wait for the right time, and then either use the kind of B attack to grab them or whatever. We destroyed a fire hydrant there, which is actually somewhat relevant. So as you can see with demonic soldiers there, when you kill them, if you kill them using the ending blow there, you get a nice few wrath souls off them. Different enemies yield different kind of souls, like for example zombies will never give you wrath souls. If you kill them this way, they'll give you health souls, and if you kill them normally, they'll give you more blue souls. No, yes, blue souls. But they will never give you wrath souls. Inside here, towards the back, there is another blue chest. So, let's head back outside. And now, if we head to the east, well, there's a few more demonic soldiers going around. There's at least... Oh, there's also a blue dragon here. Oh, dear. Let's get out of the way of him for now. And, as you can see, cars can be useful for just being a... At the moment, they're pretty much all... Oh, bloody hell. They're all you really have in the way of range capabilities. So, I've not got any wrath at the moment, so that isn't great, because I would love to use Blade Geezer around now, but I can't. If you're out targeting one enemy, just use, like, literally pressing the right stick, like I'm currently doing, switches you between targeting different enemies. I meant to throw it at the blue dragon, but I accidentally threw it at that demonic soldier, and then the blue dragon killed him. Oh, there we go. And let's kill that one as well. Haha. Basically, oh, that hurt a lot. The ending blows do allow you to be quite mobile around the battlefield, and that is everything when it comes to combat in this game. Go on, fight me, you little bitch. Up, there we go. Oh, he killed that zombie. I was going to kill that zombie and get some souls out of him. There we go. Heal myself a tiny little bit. It is almost insignificant the amount that the zombies heal you by, but it is free health, so never sniff at it when you see it. Anyway, kill this guy. You'll notice on the map there is a chest down behind where he was. Oh, that healed like half a health back. So there is a green chest down here, and we can then just climb the growth back up again. They tend to, at least in the early game, they're very good at throwing you a green chest whenever you've just fought a major fight, which is very good of them in their own way. Up here, there is then a second kind of like hidden area. You can't get into that building, but right round to the side here, wow, firstly, there is a few more enemies. I don't think... Basically, sometimes a green dragon... A green dragon? That's a pub in Harry Potter. Not Harry Potter, bloody hell. That was embarrassing. Lord of the Rings. Yeah, sometimes the blue dragon spawns here, but he spawned there instead. Might as well get it anyway, just to get it off the map so I don't confuse myself. But what we really want to do is head down these stairs here and walk into the camera repeatedly. Got then another blue chest for a few more things. I really thought there were some enemies in there, but apparently there aren't. So, we needed 500 souls, we've got 823, which is pretty good, and that's not actually everything. You know I mentioned we destroyed a fire hydrant. There are actually, and that was important. I know we did it, but it was also important. There are actually... I forget the walls are just big enough you just walk into some shit and destroy it. There's 5 fire hydrants around here. That's 2. If we destroy all 5 of them... So that little sound effect you heard, the ba-ba-ba-da-bom, is this game's equivalent of Zelda's do-do-do-do-do-do-doot, and it means you did a good thing. And indeed, here's another blue chest. And that one has a crap ton of souls in. I think that was 500. That's everything we can do in this area for now, so let's go of these 3... 1,300 souls. We can give 500 over to Vulgrim, no problem.
These ancient gates have a mind of their own, but with this, you may reach an understanding. Beyond the gate, seek out Samael's prison. Once, Samael was close in power to the Dark Prince himself. Some might even say, a threat. You will find he is no friend to the Destroyer. Seek me out when you've gathered more souls. I will make it worth your while.
So, with that, we have a target, find the demon Samael, and we also received... Come on, game, work with me here. We also received... the Earthcaller, our second weapon and or gear. This is very much gear. A massively carved horn whose call awakens ancient gates. Press RT to activate the horn when equipped. Some creatures can be knocked back by the Earthcaller's deafening blast. So you obtained your first gear item. So, much like how we equip wrath items or consumables to holding LV and pressing a direction, with gear, you select one and then you can have 4 of them assigned to either any of the D-pad directions. When you press the D-pad direction of that item, you will assign it to the right trigger for instant use. And indeed, if I press our right trigger now, we use the Earthcaller, and that makes more sense when we get more items going forward. For now, though, I'm going to talk to Vulgrim.
On your journey, you may come into possession of certain items that are of particular interest to me. Artifacts of the Fallen Legion. If you discover any Legion artifacts, bring them to me. I will make it worth your while.
So, as you can see at the bottom, we now have a glowing green thing with ×1 and trade artifacts. Artifacts have no use other than to sell them to Vulgrim, so we may as well do that right away.
Please, old Vulgrim's got something new for us.
So, Vulgrim functions as a shop. You buy things in exchange for souls. He sells you items here, weapon combos for your sword, different weapons, and wrath powers. So you can either level up ones you already have, like Blade Geezer, or you can buy new ones. I will go through these more as I basically buy them, because sitting here and going through them all now is a bit much. But I'm going to buy 2 things. I'm going to buy... which of these will I buy? Meteor Strike. This basically allows me to... So you know my dash move when I press RB? This allows me to do that in mid-air, which is nice, and it's dead cheap. It's 200 souls. And then I'm going to spend 1,000 souls to buy Weapon Master. So, this unleashes a new part of the visualizer, enhancements. There are 2 types of enhancements in the game. There's 8 regular enhancements and 4 legendary enhancements. Enhancements are attached to weapons and imbue the weapon with additional powers. This is Weapon Master, which bestows war with an increased knowledge of weaponry, boosting the weapon damage of whatever weapon it's slotted to. I will explain this by bringing up the menu, and if we go to the Weapon Forge, you'll notice, so we've got a lot more slots here for stuff, as you can see. 8 regular enhancements, 4 legendary enhancements. I always call them enchantments because I thought it was that for ages when I first played this game. There's a couple of weapons we don't have yet, but for now, Chaos Eater, as you can see, has a slot here. So let's grab Weapon Master and put it in that slot. So that just increases Chaos Eater's damage. There's also a bar underneath there, which is how close Chaos Eater is to leveling up. Every time Chaos Eater levels up, you'll see there are 4 sigils around the hilt of Chaos Eater on its kind of on its backdrop there. Every time it levels up, one of those symbols will fill up. There are 5 possible levels for every weapon, which make it better and unlock more combos for it. Finally, I was just telling you what I just told you, you will notice as well now that Chaos Eater's appearance changed. The skulls on it now have eyes and a blue power flows through it. Each enhancement gives a unique look to the weapon it's equipped to, which is a nice little touch. So Chaos Eater now just does more damage, which is wonderful. Finally, here is an ancient gate. Let's use it and activate it with our Earthcaller horn.
Horn call of my ancestors, awakened at last from the dreamless sleep. Then we are free.
No, free while the Destroyer still breathes.
The Destroyer, yes. To his service we are bound, though enemies we remain. So his enemies we call friend. Pass now, friend. Must bring victory. Must bring freedom.
If that was the gate, I can't wait to find out what's behind it.
You may recognize the ancient gate. We saw one of them get pulled over. Oh, that was cool. We saw one of them get pulled over by angelic forces. Or was it demonic forces? One of the two shitey forces in the opening apocalypse was ripping a gate down. And that means the way behind the gate is now open. And we'll be going through it next episode. So, thank you very much for watching. This has been Darksiders. We've been returned to Earth to try and clear our name. Next episode, we'll be going through where the gate was to find the demon Samael, who has answers for how we can take on the Destroyer. Thank you very much, and good day.